Alright, cool. Alright, we're the brothers from GMS, Colorado, the brother Maccabee, brother Yawadon. We want to first and foremost give all praises unto Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh Shai. Alright, we want to give double honors unto the elders of GMS. Alright, and shalom to all you Akim out there who are pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Alright, we was actually going to attempt to do a live show. And then, brother, I was also going to tell you, well, it ain't no big deal. I'll tell you later. But, yeah, we was going to do a live show, but I guess our account, what'd you say had happened to it, brother? We got to,
Because there was a violation, they took the live stream away.
right, we got some sort of violation now, so we can't do any more live streams on this channel. I guess we'll have to make another one to live stream now. We just found that out today. But we just want to talk about some of these current events in general anyway that's going on in the world, man. You know, first and foremost, you know, on that now that it's going mainstream, the chip is going mainstream now. You know, America is transitioning to a cashless society where you got now that it's a convenient thing, which is actually being pushed through the media. That's a convenient thing to be chipped. You know, you can get paid faster. You can pay for whatever. You have all your accounts on one, you know, device, and it's being pushed to something that's this great, you know, new invention, man. Nah, man, that's not a good look. That's the mark of the beast. All right, you know, you got some of these camps out here that take that as a joke and make a joke of it, but it's not a joke, man. It ain't no game. The mark of the beast is that's the end all be all. That's your new world order or Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. That's Esau's master plan.
I got an article for you.
Go ahead, brother. Bring that out.
It's the Wisconsin company. Brothers probably already seen this, but the Wisconsin vending machine company that had a chip party. It's going to read a little bit of the article. It's Chicago Tribune. It says a brief sting as all employees of Wisconsin technology company said they felt Tuesday when they received a microchip implant in their hand that will allow them to open doors, log onto computers, or buy break room snacks by simply waving their hand.
Which there you go, man. You know that's what this place, well, really the world is trying to transition to. You know, this one world currency, everyone being chipped, where they can control your financial status. They can control how much you can buy at a store, what your medical records are, whatever your personal information may be, is all now in the hands of Esau, who essentially is trying to play God. All right, and in all reality, his time is running out, which is why this is what's happening. And I can attest I can literally make the testament that I was told this, you know, years and years before this came to be. You know, my old man, Malcolm, he told me this when I was 17 years old, that there would be people singing and making songs about being chipped, you know, and now we're seeing that come to fruition, man.
You know? You
Go ahead, brother.
This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads. And for the purpose of this video, we'll go ahead and grab the interlinear etymology behind that word mark, so there's no confusion behind that. The word's charagma. Let's see. A stamp or an imprinted mark. Let's see. Here we go. Charagma. From the same, a scratch or an etching, just for the purpose of that. So the word charagma being the mark given to both small and great. Scratch. If we look up that word scratch, basically what it breaks down to is a mark that's underneath the skin, otherwise called subdermal.
Okay.
So what else could that be talking about? You know, when you see companies unrolling, chipping all their employees,
right,
making all their currency transactions digital,
right,
what could that be talking about?
Right. And I mean, even when you see that process in the way that it takes place, which really is kind of like it's almost hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what it is, it's hard to watch. But when you see that process done, you can clearly see that some people, their skin were rejected,
Mm-hmm.
and you can clearly see that it's something that's implanted in the skin, man. You know, and it's just that shit's disturbing. But that's what Esau's game plan is. You either gonna get down with this chip, and in which I actually I deal with social media, but you put that post up, and I put a post up about it, like an article, and it has a video attached to it, and people in the world that whatever try to be following you or whatever, they see that shit, and their responses are like over my dead body or type of shit like that, you know. But they don't really realize is like, hey man, that's what it's gonna come down to.
Yep.
That's what it's really gonna come down to. Then we gonna really find out, what you about. If and for the heathens, it really don't matter because Esau wants you to get. That's what Esau wants anyway. America, regardless of whether people believe it or not, we gonna fall into that status of being the same way that South America is right now.
Con.
Did you have another set, brother?
No, not for that. You can get one if you want.
Oh yeah, go ahead if you got one. I was just gonna touch on just probably make the last current event point that you also got North Korea is now able to shoot nuclear, launch a nuclear missile and strike the U.S. now.
Fine.
So this World War III, and then you got the U.S. that reacted with flying they flew the planes and
the bombers
come through the peninsula there, the Korean peninsula, Slovakia, the peninsula of the Korean peninsula. Damn, tongue tied up, man. Shit, man. Brothers know what I'm talking about, though, man.
But just for edification is Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and rich, great and both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Let me pause it real quick.
Con.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're back on. You was in the middle of an article? Con, brother.
Or just getting that stepped again.
Okay, con. Yeah, we can just go back to that then.
Con, I was in Revelation, the 13th chapter, and the 17th verse. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
All right, man. You ain't going to be able to do anything without getting this chip, man, pretty soon. People want to mock it and make jokes about it, but hey, man, pretty soon you ain't going to have no choice. You're either going to get this chip or you're going to get, you're going to get the alternative, which is, captivity or death, whatever the penalty for refusing this chip is going to be, Did you go to something else, brother?
You want me to grab that, Joel?
Yeah.
This is Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
And that's about to happen. Whether, there's nothing that people can do to stop that from happening at this point. Russia's over there. Israel's over there. United States is there. China's backing Russia. North Korea is ready to slap America. You got all these nations, including the UN and all the nations involved in that, all converging on the Valley of Jehoshaphat in the Middle East. Go ahead, brother.
And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
All right, so once again, the Lord lets you know he's only coming back for the nations of Israel, all right, which have been scattered amongst the nations, but did not include all nations. Okay, so you Edomites ain't getting in, you other heathen nations ain't getting in. He's coming for his people, his elect, all right, the nations of Israel that are scattered amongst all nations. All right, which may be of any skin color. It's not something. It's the bloodline. All right. Um, and oh, Shalakia. My other point that I was going to make was, how's the Lord going to plead, man? He's going to plead. He's not going to plead in a way where he's crying and begging. He's gonna destroy you people, man. That's what people don't get, you know. Like they see, you see plead or something, you think he's gonna beg you, man. The Lord's gonna plead with the sword, man. You know, he ain't gonna just be crying. Go ahead, brother.
Got 742.
Come.
Just to reiterate why they scattered us. This is Deuteronomy 28, and I'll just get right to the point. 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
That's right. Very basic understanding of the word bondwoman or bondman means to be a slave. That only happened to the nations of Israel. Okay, there's many nations that have been in forms of slavery, but as far as a whole nation, as every individual in that nation going into captivity, that only happened to the nation of Israel. All right, even the ones who fled captivity at one point. We've all suffered captivities, man, repeatedly, repeated lifetimes of captivity, man. Unescapable. You just had to deal with it.
And in the second verse, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead for them for my people. That's happening after our people were spread. So you see Deuteronomy 28:68, and there was only one nation of people that was spread via transatlantic slave trade. So that happened, be it at that point in history. Here we are in the future at this point. So you know that the gathering of all nations will be after that point in history. So we know that the Israelites were spread from West Africa and from the Euro-Asiatic landmass at that point into all points of the earth. And then from that, now we have a prophecy in the future of that where the Lord is going to gather all these nations into the Middle East as we are currently in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. That's going to cause World War III.
And it's unavoidable at this point. It's unavoidable for a multitude of reasons. The American economy is crumbling. You got civil unrest like a motherfucker. You got racial tension through the roof. Pick an issue. It's causing this whole system to crash. Esau's law system, Esau's welfare system. Everything that they created is coming. All them chickens is coming home to roost.
2 points I want to bring out too is in the Springs here we had a shootout like locally here in the city in an area where you wouldn't really see that type of stuff going on. And it's just like that just shows you the time that we're in.
Right.
The point in time where people that are well off or even have a middle class or what we would call middle class job, they're fed up. They're losing their minds. They're psychotic in the point where they're going to go out and start an active shooter situation and start shooting shit up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, judgment is being casted out. Just something in general. It's just being casted out. Judgment is being casted out. Especially among Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And the nations, we catching hell. I mean, the other nations is catching hell too, but we really catching hell. All right, and Jacob's trouble ain't even really, it ain't even really hit full swing yet. Let's just put it that way. It ain't really hit full swing yet where, we are in the midst of it every day, every hour, So it's just like, that's how you get it. Like 2/3 of our nation got to die. It makes a whole lot of sense how it's going to happen. You know what I mean? They're just totally unprepared. And to be honest, not to be unfair, the authorities, the police in people's cities, in some of these major cities, they're absolutely not prepared for an all-out, blackout of type of event. They're not prepared for some type of event where the whole city is wilding out. Because there's no food or there's no water or there's no resources. They can't get food for their baby. They can't get, formula, whatever the case may be. It's going to cause these people to lose their minds, man. And these police forces, they are not prepared. It don't really matter how many bare tactical tanks or whatever they want to roll down the street with 50 cals and big ass shields on them. It doesn't matter. I mean, essentially, yeah, Esau's weapon is the sword, but they're going to lose control of these cities too, man. You know, they're not going to be able to just force and police people to do whatever the hell they want them to do. It's going to take a whole lot of killing just to even get to that point, and especially initially. You know what I mean? But
In full swing back to the chip, like you people like this brother was saying just a minute ago. The fact that you say you'll never take the chip is a contradiction to the fact that when this food gets emptied out in these grocery stores,
right.
we don't have any water, you don't have any way to feed your family. You say you're not going to take the chip now, but
right.
To what level of integrity or what faith do you have to not
how
do
hungry
that?
are you going to allow yourself to be? You know what I mean? Which is another reason why brothers need to be fasting. That's not the only reason to fast, but hey man, you're gonna have to get used to being hungry, man. And if you believe in the spirit, you ain't gonna worry about being hungry. You're gonna eat. When it's necessary for you to get a meal, the Lord will provide, man. If you have faith. But it's really what it comes down to be honest. Because how the hell else are you gonna make it through Jacob's trouble? You know what I mean?
Right.
You ain't got literally, man. Chances are slim to none. You'd be lucky to get that far. So without Yahweh Shem Yahushai, how you gonna get through all that? You know what I mean?
It says, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your own recompense upon your own head.
Amen. And you other nations, these other nations of the earth, these Edomites, the Amalek, Moab, Ammon, all you other nations,
Elam.
Elam, all of y'all are on the verge of catching that recompense, man. That recompense is upon you. Okay, you got Edomites jumping out of buildings because they can't take their financial state anymore. Especially these 1%ers. When they lose everything, they off themselves. The regular modern day Edomite, hey man, your own people, they left you out. They left you out to just die with Jake, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They just expect you to perish with Jake. They left y'all out, man. There ain't nobody coming to help you. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't no National Guard going to pluck you out of your home. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fireman going to kick in your door and, tell you everything's going to be okay. Give you an apple pie. Like, all that shit is dead, That's not going to happen. That's not going to be how this place goes down. You know what I mean?
And I was going to say, too, they all had a hand in Israel's captivity.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
The very fact of the matter that, the Lord is gathering them when he says, I'll recompense you upon your own head. The Lord represents our people. And even though we were wickedly going off, we're still wickedly going off. He represents our people, kind of like a lawyer would. So the very fact that these people are still persecuting the Lord's children, that recompense is going to be shoved down their throats.
That's right. And hey, man, especially, you other nations, you're going to get yours. But Esau, you done took shit real far. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have no salvation, man. That's why your punishment has to be so severe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of you Edomites, that you don't necessarily want to acknowledge your punishment, or you want a way out of this punishment. There is no way out of this punishment. Just like there was no way out of this punishment for Israel. All right? We had to take this punishment. We had to be under your thumb for endless generations. You know what I mean? It went on and on and on and on and on. That we've been under the thumb of oppression. All right? And now that the Lord is coming to a time where the Lord is lifting that oppression off of us, and he's about to cast it onto you. All right, and you don't really have a choice in the matter. You don't have a choice. We gonna rule you. And that's just what the scripture is. That's what the scripture says. That's why you wanted Jake to stay away from it. You know what I mean? It's just really common. It's common knowledge, man. I mean, when you really get to the basic of it, to the simple shit of it, it should be common knowledge. You should have known. You know, you should have known that your ass wasn't gonna get away with what you attempted to get away with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you thought you was slick. You know you fucked up, right?
Yeah. Bad.
You got more on that, brother?
You want me to keep going?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's a whole lot on there.
Yeah.
I got some steps for you too, though. So I'll
Yeah.
get some. I'll grab a few, so we ain't just in the same thing the whole time.
Okay, it says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians,